Hey, everybody. 20th anniversary of 9/11. I know this is kind of a hard point for some, especially when you watch what happened in Afghanistan. But you know what? Despite all this, America is awesome. On 9/11, many of us, we remember where we were, what we were doing, how we came together. And I look at today, and I think we're still that awesome country. We may debate how to do certain things, but at the end of the day, we are Americans, and we can disagree. And here's the thing, as we reflect on events in Afghanistan. On 9/11, bin Laden was taunting us. Today, he's a dead man. Burn in hell. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed planned those devastating attacks. Today, he rots in Gitmo. Al-Qaeda as an organization is a joke. It functionally does not exist anymore. It has no influence in the Afghan-Pakistan region, much less having the global influence it once had. It's now a joke. You talk about Afghanistan today, it's the Taliban or ISIS-K. Al-Qaeda, gone, done. Essentially died with bin Laden, because before we got bin Laden, the rank and file had pretty much been decimated. That's it. And bin Laden died understanding his failure. You know why? One of his dreams was the autocratic Arab governments, our allies, would fall to Islamic extremists. But fall they did. But you know what? Egypt and Tunisia, what led those revolutions while he was still alive? Democratically minded young people who wanted a better future for their country. In other words, they wanted to be like Americans, and it had to piss him off. That's it right there. And you look at our message, our influence. Even in Afghanistan today, the Taliban is forced to at least make themselves appear that they're a kinder, gentler force. Appear they're giving women's rights. And there's probably some who probably want to change it a little bit there, you know. That's because of our influence. They feel compelled to even do so in the first place. But the thing is, you can't beat us until you become us. And I'll even talk to China right there. Look what's happening in China. They've had to clamp down on guys like Jack Ma, former CEO of Alibaba. Why? He dared question President Xi. And China knew they had to become capitalist to compete with America and develop a strong economy. But with that capitalism comes a lot of these other democratic ideas and wanting to call the shots and freedom of expression. And you open those gates a little bit, people want more of it. And I think President Xi is going to be just like Gorbachev, the guy who tried to clamp down, and it's going to backfire completely. Because even China, they can't beat us without becoming us. They can't beat us without unleashing their human capital. It takes me back to the Taliban. You know, a lot of us might be hurting right now watching the Taliban. They have their own 9/11 celebration, but guess what? You ask any person in Afghanistan, hey, where do you want to live? They choose America every time. And that's it for all you Taliban out there who may or may not watch this. Guess what? All your most capable people, the ones with the brain power and the things that make things happen, they want to come here. There are people literally dying to come to America. People die to leave Afghanistan. No one's dying to go to Afghanistan. You take the most death to American country in the world, visa line is a mile down the road. Great anecdote. In the book, The Siege of Mecca, which is primarily about the seizure of the Grand Mosque in Mecca in 79, it touches on an incident in Libya when they actually torched our embassy in Tripoli. And one of the perpetrators came across the diplomat and said, hey, can you give me a visa? You know, I want to study in America, become an engineer. Yeah, because everyone wants what we have. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who planned 9/11, he had to learn by coming to America. He went to North Carolina State. I'm not North Carolina, North Carolina A&T. He had to come to school in America. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, people come here. Even bin Laden, we know from the documents from his from the raid, he was hoping his kids would get education in the West. Maybe not follow in their footsteps. That's how much of a failure he realized he was. How much of a failure his ideas are. And that's it. At the end of the day, we have a country where we can get anything we want to. Any cuisine you can think of, you can get it. And there's people fusing all these cuisines. You can get there. You can express yourself freely. You can start a business. In fact, a lot of the reasons people aren't going back to work is a lot of people, when the pandemic hit, started businesses. We're a country that overcomes crisis and comes together. So we overcame 9/11. We're overcoming COVID. We can do it because we can function despite our government. We can move faster, and people want that. They want that hope, that dream. People died coming across the southern border to come here. People die trying to cling on to airplanes in Afghanistan to come here. Everyone wants to come here. Chinese, they're all trying to stash their money in America because they don't trust stashing their money in China. Everyone wants what we have. And by the way, Taliban, I mean, yeah, they won, but I take their victory about as seriously as my son beating me in basketball. Because, you know, when I play my son, he's 6. I'm not going to unleash the full capability of my athletic power in reference to him. No. Imagine if we decided to say, oh, hey, look, here's a few ICBMs. We could have made Afghanistan a permanent part of the Indian Ocean if we chose to. So Afghans that are celebrating your little victory, remember, you only exist because we let you. And that concerns any developing world adversary down the road. You exist because we let you, and we could obliterate you tomorrow. And who would blink an eye? I mean, Europe might have some protests, but do you think the Chinese and the Russians would stop us? They'd be like, oh, that's a failure. So, I mean, no one militarily would stop us. So that's another thing about America. We actually do care about people, even our adversaries. We worry about killing innocent civilians. Taliban? No, they don't care about that. China? Forget it. So, as we reflect on this 20-year anniversary, remember where you were. Honor those who sacrificed. We had lost soldiers, a lot of good men and women lose their lives, most recently at the Kabul airport. Honor them. But honor ourselves, because we all keep America running. Going to work every day, going to school every day, whatever you're doing, what you do every day helps America grow. And we're always getting better. And nobody can take that away from us. 1975, Vietnam War ends, humiliating defeat. But you know what? Steve Jobs started Apple, Bill Gates started Microsoft. We rose up, defeated the evil empire, the Soviet Union. We're doing that today. Vietnam is an ally of ours. It's a capitalist country. They've even become more reformed in their government. And they're actually entertaining the idea of letting us use bases to counter China. Who knew? That's it. We're always going to be relevant. We're always going to be that beacon of hope. And we can look back and be angry at what happened in Afghanistan. And that's the great. We can be angry at our government and no one's going to do anything about it. But it shows the power of the people because, in Afghanistan, we had civilians and veterans who came together to get people out of Afghanistan. And just like, despite our government being unprepared for 9/11, civilians prevented a devastating strike in Washington by gaining control of Flight 93 and uprising against the hijackers of Flight 93 and forcing it to crash in a Pennsylvania, in an area in Pennsylvania there. And that saved Washington, D.C. Civilians did it. We functioned despite our government, and that's the way we always are. And we can come together and solve any problem. We have our issues, but at the end of the day, you look at our history, we come together and we solve things. That's what we do in America. That's why I'm proud to be an American. I have freedom of expression. I can be religious. I cannot be religious. I can burn a book like the Quran or the Bible. No one's going to do anything about it. I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm just saying we have freedoms to do this. Freedoms to express. Stand for the flag, burn the flag. That's why I love this country. As I reflect on 9/11, we were awesome then. We are awesome now. Thanks for watching. I'm going to have a little toast to those who sacrificed. Take care.